The age of a normal first-time homebuyer in 1991 was 26 to 27 years old. By 1999, they moved all the way up to 28 to 29 years old and slipped into the 30s by 2008. By 2016, it was at 31 years of age, and by 2019, you had to be 33 years old on average to buy your very first home. But do you know what it was in 2024? In 2024, the median age of a first-time homebuyer in America was 38 years of age. And let me tell you right now, you can clip it, 40 will be the number in 2025 because there's no signs of it going down.
Police! Help!
40 plus is when I can consider even putting a down payment for a house, and I'm supposed to work for the rest of my life just to pay it off. When will that be? Like when I'm 70? I can even understand why Gen Z or even younger generations don't even want to work, because it's clearly a lie. It's all a trap. It's almost like they're trying to get rid of private property, or they're trying to make us work till we're down to the bone. After 10 years of working, I finally put an offer in to be outbid by a boomer who made an offer in cash. I'm 42 and we have an above average household income. I couldn't afford to rebuy the house I own now. I'm glad that there's a boomer willing to admit the truth, because our younger generation can make it.
Home prices in the United States just hit an all-time record high. So if you are trying to get into a house, these numbers prove that may be more difficult now than it's ever been. According to the National Association of Realtors, the median price for an existing home in the United States as of June of 2026 is $440,600.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
That's up nearly 2% from last June and is the 36th consecutive month of year-over-year increases. Now, depending on where you live, you may be paying much more than that, or you may be paying less. I will run down those specifics for you in a second. But before I do that, I want to show you what an all-time record high looks like on a chart. So this is the National Association of Realtors existing home sales price for homes every single month dating back to 2022. And what you can see is a pretty clear pattern of home prices going up, hitting a peak, and then pulling back. And you can see we're on the upswing of this up and down trend. The question is this price the highest price? Is it the peak? Or will these prices still keep going up? Now, the National Association of Realtors says even though we just hit this all-time record high for median home price, housing affordability is better than a year ago because wage growth is outpacing home price growth.
Huh?
Many of you will probably disagree with that statement, but the NAR also acknowledges that over the long term, housing affordability is in jeopardy because simply we don't have enough home inventory, meaning we don't have enough units on the market for all the people that need a house. And without that inventory, prices just keep going up. Now, let's talk about what these existing home prices look like in your area. The least expensive existing homes are in the Midwest, where the median price is nearly $347,000. That's up nearly 3% from last June. The third most expensive existing homes are in the South, where the median price is nearly $378,000. That's up almost 1% from last year. The second most expensive existing homes are in the Northeast, where the median price is nearly $565,000. That's up nearly 4% from last June. And the most expensive existing homes in the country are in the West, where the median price is nearly $634,000. That is up almost 1% from last year.
Mind you, minimum wage is like $7.25. So how the hell is the average person going to even afford a house? I make $18 an hour. I'll never be a homeowner. Not with that attitude. I'm joking. Of course, with those type of wages, you're probably never going to even make it. I'm going to save $400,000, but by that time, it'll be $1 million minimum. This is just sad. It's like you're always going to keep working towards something that you'll never attain because prices just keep going up and up. And obviously, the value of the money keeps going down and down. We are the only wealthy country in the world where earned income doesn't match the cost of housing. Actually, no. A lot of places are experiencing this exact same problem, like Australia, the UK, Europe, Canada. But now you're starting to see people adopting the van life, people living in their car. Like, this is a huge unaffordability issue that's just affecting everyone.
Affordability in America and tonight, what it's like to buy a home, or try, that is. The cost of a typical starter home has never been higher. Here's CBS's Christian Benavides.
The Valderrama family moved to Florida 3 years ago. Their plan, to rent for a year before buying a home. What they didn't plan, that it would take this long.
The prices of homes are not on the lower end, and we love this area, so that definitely impacts our purchasing decision at this moment.
Arletta owns a med spa where customers have pulled back their spending. That's among the reasons they're being cautious about buying a home.
For sure, the interest rate plays on, do we go in now? Do we still wait?
Mortgage rates are still hovering above 6%. Home prices in Weston, Florida, where the couple is looking, have risen dramatically. A typical starter home is above $700,000. 5 years ago, it was closer to $500,000.
Is this something that you're seeing happen more and more often?
Yes, absolutely. So now homeowners are postponing, their purchase. The prices are high, the rates are high, the insurance is high.
Nationwide, the average cost of a starter home has never been higher, at just under $200,000. A survey by Zillow found that more than 240 cities now have starter homes that cost at least $1 million. California and New York top the list.
The house you could have bought 5 years ago, today, the exact same house costs you 80% more overall. That puts housing out of reach for many Americans.
Government data shows that a monthly house payment has gone from $1,700 to over $3,000 over the past 5 years.
I beg your pardon?
Some experts say renting can make more financial sense for some people.
People want to start a family, live in a home, and then eventually build equity so that when their kids grow up, they can give them something. But at this point, you're going to give nothing but rent. People who bought their homes even 3 years ago wouldn't be able to afford their house today. America is over. We prioritize greed and billionaires over its citizens. $3,500 mortgage a month and makes $20 an hour.
You can never make it.
Unless you have your spouse, the kids, and the dog working, you're probably going to make it by just by a little bit. Find me a $200,000 starter home that doesn't need $100K in updates and repair.
You just don't want to admit it, but van life equals housing crisis. This isn't a vibe, and this is not freedom. This is what happens when housing collapses and survival becomes illegal. Millions of us are being pushed to live into vehicles just to survive. And cities are treating us like shit. And for most of us, van life is the last resort, and we're being hunted for it. Welcome to part 7 of a series of why I don't think van life is going to last for the next 5 to 10 years. This is the part no one wants to say out loud, that van life is the new face of homelessness. And I'm not talking about the kind you ignore on the freeway ramp. I'm talking about the kind you envy on Instagram, without even realize that most of us are barely hanging on. Rent is unattainable, wages are stagnant, and the price of just living, even simply, has skyrocketed. Most people aren't choosing this life because it's cute. They're choosing it because they don't have an alternative. But instead of compassion, we get harassment. And instead of services, we get surveillance. And we certainly don't get safety, we get ticketed or towed or jailed for sleeping in our own property. I've said it before and I'll say it again, that city ordinances are being put into place to criminalize living in your vehicle. Even if your van is insured, even if it's spotless, self-contained, all that, doesn't matter. They don't want to see you because you are their failure, made entirely too visible. And the few who do glamorize it, they're helping the cities crack down on us because we're not the right kind of van life for them. If we're not brand safe, we're broke. And they want us gone. So even with all the bougie Sprinter vans, van life isn't a trend. It is the front line of America's housing disaster. And if you're not scared yet, you're not paying attention.
The hate on people sleeping in vans or cars is legit next level evil. Rent all over the United States needs to be capped at $800, and in lower income places need to be capped at $400 to match our wages. I don't know if that's going to be implemented everywhere. I mean, Zora Mamdani did it with the rent freeze and all the landlords lost their marbles, but in other states, I don't know if they want to adopt that type of system. You know, capitalism is all about making money, not reducing the amount of money you're making.
I've noticed an increasing amount of financial influencers and rich people online headlines saying that owning a home has become so unaffordable that it's actually just a better deal for people to just rent forever. And A, a lot of those people just so happen to own rental properties they're trying to funnel tenants into. And B, I just think it's interesting how the American dream keeps getting narrowed down. Because like the American dream started at everyone deserves life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And then in like the 1950s, the American dream became, hey, everybody deserves mostly to own a house in the suburbs. And now the American dream has narrowed down to, hey, everybody deserves to rent an apartment from someone who has way more money than them. And it's just kind of like, what's next? Before long, the American dream is just going to be having just enough money to bribe your way out of the future lottery where billionaires randomly select poor people for them to hunt for sport.
Depressing how at this point renting is genuinely the only thing the next generation will be able to do. Or live in an RV or a car or a van. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about the unaffordability crisis that's happening in America with the high housing prices, especially for starter homes. But leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Also, check out this video if you haven't. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. But nevertheless, I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.